This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to this edition of Pensacola State Perspectives. I'm your host, Patrice Witten, Executive Director of the Pensacola State College Foundation. We have a very special guest joining us, our own President, Dr. Ed Meadows. Welcome, Dr. Meadows.
Thank you, Patrice. Glad to be here.
So glad you could come today, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things about Pensacola State, the vision for the future, but we're also going to go back in the past and talk about some of our traditions and a historical marker dedication that just occurred. When did Pensacola College get started?
Well, of course, if you go back in time, 1948 was the year. Mm-hmm. And the opportunity for us to showcase that beginning year did occur this year with the establishment of the historical marker downtown. So long, distinguished history serving the community.
Now, what caused the college to move from where it began on Aiken Street and Cervantes many years ago to the current location?
Well, over a period of time, of course, the college added new programs, and the enrollment continued to surge for the college, and we just outgrew the Aiken boarding house and had to find larger facilities to accommodate the student population and the new programs that were being added as well.
And we haven't stopped growing ever since.
We are really moving forward, trying to serve all the constituents of our two-county service area.
Now, back in June, there was historical marker dedication, and we have some footage where Mayor Ashton Hayward was talking about Pensacola State College and the importance of the college to the city. Let's watch as Mayor Ashton Hayward talks.
Pensacola State College is truly the fabric of the city of Pensacola, and I couldn't imagine Pensacola State College not being in Pensacola, and I think it's touched all of our lives. It definitely touched my life.
Okay, well, since that point in time, as we can see, many people gathered, and we've grown tremendously in enrollment. What was it, 100+ students were there in those days?
Not many, but if you're looking at this video clip right now, you'll see a very large number of the original graduates of the first graduating class. Charles King and his wife are there, as well as others that were that attended class in that boarding house. So that we're looking at a picture now of some of the first graduates.
Some of the very first graduates, and this took place at Lee Square on June 30th. And the college has really had a definite impact on our community in so many ways, just as Mayor Hayward was saying. And you know, when we leave the opportunity to go back in history and look forward into what we're doing now, we can see how much growth has occurred in our enrollment. Talk about the current enrollment numbers and the growth that we've experienced recently.
We're just now approaching the pre-Ivan numbers. We enrolled over 15,000 students, in credit and non-credit students this fall. We're over 14,000 students in credit students, those that are pursuing degrees for university transfer, or those enrolled in our own baccalaureate degree programs, or those enrolled in certificate and diploma programs so that they can be trained to enter the workforce. And of course, we have the Pensacola campus, where the largest number of our students attend classes, our Warrenton campus, which is primarily dedicated to nursing and health science programs, our Milton campus, where we have is probably our fastest growing campus with over 2,000 students and a shortage of parking space, but a very unique partnership with the University of Florida there, where students can get their associate degree in agricultural, plant science, or natural resources, or wildlife management, and then just walk to the next building and receive that baccalaureate degree from the University of Florida. We have a downtown center, of course, that we purchased some years ago, where we do our corporate training, And soon to open in January will be both a center in Century, north of Escambia County, and also South Santa Rosa on Gup Breeze Parkway. So we're really looking forward to serving in all the different areas of our two-county service area. And many of the residents of our two-county service area look to Pensacola State as the mayor said, it is the fabric of our community, because not only do we offer the Associate of Art and Associate of Science degree for university transfer, but we also offer all those workforce programs that keep the workforce available to the new industry and the new business that locate in our two-county service area.
We have quite a lot of partnerships that with the businesses and corporations in the area industry. Could you speak a little bit about what we offer in terms of training for those businesses?
Well, in addition to the credit programs, whether you're talking about electronics or computer science or drafting, architectural drafting or mechanical drafting, or whether you're talking about cosmetic arts for the or culinary and hospitality management, we do non-credit training that is very valuable to existing industries to continually update skills of those that are already in the workforce. And of course, the baccalaureate degree programs are designed for people in the workforce that have promise in management and supervisory careers, and those can range all the way from nursing to healthcare to public safety to general supervision and business. So I think that probably we're the most comprehensive we've ever been in our existence in terms of being able to meet the needs of existing business and industry, as well as those industries and businesses that are looking to locate in our service area.
Recently, we added baccalaureate programs to our offerings here at the college. Talk a little bit about that.
I just mentioned that, and the enabling legislation occurred some years back because Florida was not meeting the expectations of its population in the number of baccalaureates per capita. And so the legislature allowed community colleges, and there are 28 in the state of Florida that belong to our system, allowed them to look at workforce baccalaureate degrees, and we now have 21 of the 28 offering selected baccalaureate degrees that add the aspect of I guess, a higher level trained individual for the workforce. And of course, when you raise the availability of baccalaureate degrees because of the university systems not being able to respond to that need, it's a win for everyone. It's a win for the universities in that it helps them meet the needs of the state by partnering with them. And of course, we have what is called a national model for the 2+2, which is the first 2 years with a guarantee of admission to a university for the baccalaureate degree if a student completes the baccalaureate degree. So there are a lot of best practices in Florida that assist the residents of this state in meeting their educational goals, and helping Florida realize, its vision for the quality of life that it offers its residents.
Well, as a college, we have kept a lot of promises to this community. There's been a wonderful partnership over time, over the 63 years that we've been here. And one of those areas that's been so popular, if you will, has been our dual enrollment programs. And I know we get questions quite often about how does one get into that program. My daughter's about to graduate from high school in 4 years. What should I be doing now and the next 2 years to be sure that she or my son can be part of that. And it's a wonderful opportunity and a cost savings for area parents.
It certainly is, because there is no tuition for rising juniors who are eligible to enroll in the dual enrollment classes. And these are primarily the university transfer courses. And of course, we look to the secondary school systems in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties to provide us with qualified faculty to teach these courses. It's an opportunity for students not to have to test through AP where they may or may not be awarded that credit. In other words, they get a letter grade upon completion of that dual enrolled course, and that course is a college course, and it's transferable to any of our public universities in the state of Florida. And of course, the parents, they win as much as the students because of the tuition break that they do not have to pay. And so it accelerates the student through their higher education so that they can actually receive an associate degree in many cases as they graduate from high school. So then 2 years later they have their baccalaureate degree and hopefully enter the workforce or go on to graduate school, and ends up costing the parent half as much money. And for parents that have 3 and 4 and 5 children, such as you,
It's a very big help.
it's a very nice way to accelerate your children's education and get a good quality education. I think our statistics show that our students do as well or better than the native student in the university, and so that speaks well for the quality of instruction that those students are receiving.
And we have some top-notch faculty here.
The best, the
They
very
are
best.
absolutely wonderful. Talk a little bit about the recent dedication of the Student Center here on the Pensacola campus, where these studios are located. That was quite a day.
It certainly was. You know, Tom Delano was my predecessor as president for 6 years, and of course he was here for many years prior to that, and even before then in higher education in Florida. So he spent 36 plus years in higher education in Florida, devoting his entire career to the community college, and I believe Tom was very pleased that the board recognized him in such a grand way to name the Student Center in his honor. And it was a grand occasion with many friends and colleagues from his past years that came to the ceremony. So Tom Delano did a lot of great things at our college over the 20-something years that he was here.
He did, and at the building dedication, Dr. Delano spoke about the importance of community colleges and their role in his life. Let's listen in.
I don't know how I ended up in a community college. I should have been a student in a community college, and I wasn't because there weren't any around, or there were a few around like Pensacola, but you were a long ways from Cedar Key. And so I went to the University of Florida initially, and I really needed a community college. I discovered that later, and it was neat because it probably made me believe in the community college more than a lot of people who had experienced the community college. I just really knew what role it could and would play in a community. And I could not have enjoyed my work any more than I did. And working in the community was expected when you were part of a community college. That's what a community college is.
Well, this was quite a day for Pensacola State College, with the Delanos coming back, and here you see the unveiling where you and Dr. Delano, what was it like that moment when you have the 5th and the 6th president of the college? Such a great crowd was there. Lots of upgrades to the facility, too, I noticed.
Well, of course, I knew Dr. Delano before I came to Pensacola State, or actually I came to Pensacola Junior College first, and then it became state, and I respected the man greatly. I thought that he was instrumental in pursuing the Simulation Center, which is nationally recognized for technological advances in the teaching of nursing and health science programs. And of course, he was instrumental in securing the funds for the South Santa Rosa Center as well. So he and I used to discuss, the the differences between Alabama and Florida and the similarities. And we met on a quarterly basis as a group of presidents from Alabama and the Panhandle. So I really got to know and respect Dr. Delano, and it was very fitting that the Board of Trustees recognized him in this way by naming the Student Center in his honor.
It was a great day indeed, and so good to see them come back and enjoy their friends and bring their family here. You know, it's been quite a year for dedications for the college. You know, from the historical marker dedication to the Delano building dedication. Of course, he was our 5th president, and it was building number 5.
Right.
And then, of course, the Santa Rosa Center. We broke ground on that a couple years ago, and you mentioned that Dr. Delano was instrumental in that. Well, it's been the vision ever since to bring that forward, and now we're almost where it's going to be
We're just
open.
about there.
Just about there. I think we have some footage from the campus groundbreaking last year and the crowd that was there to watch that.
We have the South Santa Rosa Day, which is going to be January the 1st, where the public will be invited to come in and tour the facility and actually enroll in classes that will begin in January. So
Well, there we are, breaking ground.
it's a huge difference between that day and where we are right now. We actually will be moving furniture into this building in about 2 weeks. And it is a spectacular building, 33,000 square feet, 8 classrooms, a biology lab, a chemistry lab, library, computer science lab, administrative and faculty offices. Green Hut has done a wonderful job in getting us to Gold LEED. So it's a fabulous facility.
Well, after break, we're going to talk some more about all of the offerings at the South Santa Rosa Center, and we'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back. I'm here with Pensacola State Perspective, and today's guest is Dr. Ed Meadows. Dr. Meadows, we were talking earlier about all of the growth on the campuses, the enrollment growth. There's been growth in programs, new programs. Do you want to talk a little bit about what we're
Sure.
offering?
We are constantly evaluating workforce needs in our service area, and of course, periodically we go out into the community. We have advisory committees that are composed of people in the work field and all the different programs that we offer, and we meet with them regularly and get their input on how not only to improve our programs, but what programs we're not offering that we need to offer. And as a result of a survey that we did recently, we have begun the veterinary technician program, or vet tech program. That program opened this year. It's in a newly renovated facility on our Warrenton campus. And as you look at new programs, you also have to look at the facilities that are needed to make it a world-class instructional program. And we've done that in our cosmetic arts program, which has grown tremendously. It's probably our largest vocational program. So we did a renovation of that facility as well and moved into it recently. We have our massage therapy program there, very good enrollment, meeting the needs of the hospitality industry and the med spa industry in this area. We also have our aesthetics program and advanced aesthetics program. The advanced aesthetics program is the only program in the state offered at the post-secondary level, and we started that program this year. It trains technicians to work in the med spa industry for plastic surgeons and dermatologists. With those kinds of programs, you have to have first-class equipment and first-class facilities. So we've done a lot of renovation in recent years to make sure that our students have the very best in terms of the industry being able to meet industry standards. And of course, as our population grows in our 2-county service area and the surrounding area even beyond, Our enrollment continues to grow, and so not only do we have more students in our traditional programs, but we also have to make sure that we provide access to those students. So we've had a big jump in distant education via the internet, distant learning programs in courses. One of our grant-funded programs is cybersecurity or information assurance, and this is a new field where technology just plays such a tremendous part in providing technicians for banks that need the technology to operate their ATM machines, for home security systems, and for even industrial security systems. And we even have courses in this program that help those companies safeguard their own technology and the way in which they store information, and particularly with customers. There has to be a keen awareness of the necessity to keep customer information private to that company. So those are some of the recent programs that we've begun. A lot of the economy has resulted, or the poor economy has resulted in a lot of individuals who have lost their job. And so we've had our department heads and faculty working on short certificate programs where a student can come in 8 to 16 weeks, gain a new skill. We have a 911 dispatch program, a pharmacy tech program, and a number of other short certificate programs in health science areas that allow students to go back to work in a very short period of time. And we are a major medical hub, and there are always needs there that range in the physical plant operation of a building to the operating room, and patient care and customer service, all the hallmarks of our hospitals. And so we're good partners with them in providing that kind of workforce that they need.
We have some wonderful growth opportunities in terms of student populations for these programs, and I know that we have some scholarships that are designated to assist for particular programs. Talk about the grants that we've received recently and the growth that could bring forward. I know we had a grant for the health programs in particular, Health Programs Opportunities Grant, I believe it's called.
Some of the obstacles and barriers that students face, particularly those that have lost their job or that are trying to move from a situation of dependence upon social service agencies, oftentimes become true barriers in that they don't have transportation, they don't have funds to pay their telephone bill, their utility bill, they don't have daycare, and so we received a federal grant that assists these students that are interested in healthcare careers, that will help them and support them through our social service agencies. And this is the first time ever grant. It's a pilot grant, and it's one that has produced a 100% pass rate in our nursing assistant program graduates. We had 22 that entered that program, and we had one student that dropped out but went into a different program. All the other students graduated, and those students would not have been able to enter that program had it not been for that grant.
Well, this grant also provides, as you were saying, child care assistance,
Yes, it
which
does.
we find so often that the retention is an issue. Once a student can qualify and receives funding to enter the programs, especially the health programs, which are quite vigorous and have standards, of course, because they end up being our health professionals, then these other barriers get in the way. And this grant alleviates some of those barriers, if not
Yes.
all.
And grants are very important to any institution, but particularly for us. And for example, we have the only Veterans Upward Bound program, which is a federal program that helps support veterans that are coming out of the military. And we've been designated for the past 3 years as a military-friendly school, and that is determined by the number of services that you offer veterans. So I need to mention just briefly that it's very important that we have a very healthy, vibrant foundation, and you as the executive director and your staff, y'all are constantly out there with the public, making sure that they understand the importance of supporting Pensacola State College through their gifts and donations to us to help those students be productive citizens.
Yes, and this has been a very generous community. We have many benefactors, a lot of alumni who have been supporting us recently, very large scholarships that benefit the nursing programs, the allied health professionals in particular, which are quite expensive programs. And when you think about all of the equipment, even the tools for cosmetology, I was amazed to find how much those cost. And so once you get in,
Right.
to stay in, you have to have the support, which scholarships provide.
And oftentimes even the books cost as much as the tuition.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
and this community is one of the most giving communities that I've ever had the pleasure of living in. And as the mayor said, we are the fabric of the institution, of the community, and our community realizes that. And I think that's one reason that they're so generous toward us in providing scholarships for our students, is because they know the work we do, and we have a historical record of having done excellent work. Any meeting that you go into, if you ask people to raise their hands, the vast majority of those individuals will raise their hand and say, I or my wife or my children have attended Pensacola State College.
It's almost a universality in this area that someone in a family, their lives have been touched. Or, you know, we're touching lives through them because of the wonderful education they received at the college. We receive testimonials just about weekly from people whose lives were touched by benefactors, who came here, got their education, changed for the better. It benefited their families, and now they're giving back.
They are, and generously. But we have many fine individuals in this community that have given credit to our institution for their success. And others that have gone on out into the world, like Dr. David Andrews, who is the Dean of the School of Education at Johns Hopkins University and was recognized recently in our state as an outstanding alumnus of Pensacola State College.
Well, you've had a lot of vision, and you've been president now going on 4 years. You're in your third year.
Close to it.
Yeah, so all of these changes have happened during your tenure, and you've made such a difference for the community and the college. What do you see on the horizon next?
Well, of course, access is still a hallmark of our mission, and low cost. Our tuition is about half of what universities have to charge, and our tuition is actually lower than Alabama. So we have people from our region and out of state that come to our doors looking for the services and the educational programs that we offer. So we will keep true to our mission of high quality, low cost, and access for our students.
Well, thank you, Dr. Meadows, and we will see you for our next program for Pensacola State Perspectives. Thank you for joining us.